Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is the continuation of myself and Salty Traveling Seas discussion about 10 moments, I guess, pulled from the books, which weren't really pulled from the books, but we're going to say were pulled from the books, done by Screenrant. If you haven't seen the first half, it was posted yesterday. This is the second half of our discussion, and yeah, please like, share, subscribe it out, comment if you like, and yeah, thanks, and all hail the Lord Dragon. Enjoy. This one right here. This is the biggest, like, Moraine.
Oh God!
Like, who cares? Like,
She in the first 20 seconds, she completely mischaracterized the essential parts of what the actual story of the Eye of the World was. That's when I broke a TV remote that I threw at the wall within the first 20 seconds of watching episode 1 because I was like, "What are you doing? This is not Moiraine. This is nothing Moiraine would ever say." If you actually know anything about these books, her entire focus is on one thing: finding the Dragon Reborn, who is a boy. There's none of this blaming men for what they did bullshit. There's a storyline between the blue Aja and the red Aja of the tower, and whoever wrote this, they have no idea what the hell they're doing.
But I'm just saying, like, my biggest is like this is number 5. This is from the book. Like, were you like you're digging real deep here. It's like, okay, I hope they explain some of this shit, right? It's like I don't like this list is like, have we had any major plot related things on this list? Rand doesn't count. Tom doesn't
who's
count
Rand?
because they're wrong.
Tom?
So this one's wrong. Ishmael, that's wrong. That was in the book. That's wrong. That wasn't really in the book. Who cares? And that's a big one, but they fucked that one up. So so far, and then we get to 5, and it's Moraine explains the history. It's like okay, fucking Rand gets on a horse. That was in the book, right? I mean,
let's see what they have to say about
that was in
this.
the book.
Let's see what they have to say about
So,
this.
well, riding on horseback. So they're just saying that, the whole Manetheren thing where they started singing the stupid song, one of the worst scenes in episode 2, because it was so awkward that they're riding on a horse and it was a complete missed opportunity to do a flashback of the fall of Manetheren. That's what that was. This was the perfect place for you to inject some of your own stuff in there while she's talking about it. You do a flashback and you show the fall of Manetheren. How fucking cool would it be to see that shit? And then Queen Eldrian, I think it's Eldrian, fucking explode all the fucking Trollocs. Like, that would have been cool to see. That's where you make your deviations. That's not something we didn't get to. That's what you do. You flash back into that moment, and you're like, holy fuck! And you have this big ass war, like what is it, Pelennor Fields at the beginning of Lord of the Rings? Could you imagine seeing a horde of
You have the big scene, 3,000 years, where you have the voiceover of Gladriel.
Yeah, you even have her do the voiceover for it. I don't care because she's telling the story, but put it like, don't just have them on a horse going, "Sweet for Manetheren." I don't even know why we're singing this song.
But Steve, if you did that again, the focus would not be on having Moiraine on screen.
Oh my god, I forgot.
Or Rosamund Pike. I'm not even going to dignify this with something because I have said over and over in videos that, the first 3 episodes I kept hoping it was going to get better, but very early in episode 3, the bait and switch happened, and the problem is, again, we're talking about less than 2% of the actual book. I mean, I think it's 1%. They just took the names. So to sit here, the list of everything that was missed and important from a character building and plot standpoint is 3 miles tall. This was another important scene because, again, they never focused on the fear of the Emmonsfield Five, who'd never been beyond a certain small city where there's a ferry that takes them across the river. Like, none of them, they'd never did that. And instead we just get this where we're just going to be street smart wandering around. We're being chased by Trollocs, but there's no Trollocs at a slow pace. In the books, they're racing these horses. These horses are near death because these bad guys are after them. And Moiraine, book Moiraine has so much power, she has to keep the horses going and the Emmonsfield Five going. She's giving them her life force so they can keep running from this threat, which is actively after them. And instead we get like, oh, look, exposition dump to have Rosamund Pike look great on a horse.
Well, and then like, not to get it, the Trollocs stop. Like that was one of the freaking.
They ran out of money. That's all I can think.
And that's the last time you see Trollocs till like episode 8. It's crazy,
dude. This show's Nineveh went all Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator in a blue pool again in a scene that was never in the books. And then that's it. Like,
here you go.
Oh fuck! Oh god!
Like, this is what I'm saying is, like, we're talking about all this stuff is missed, and it's like, what do you mean? Like, you're trying really hard to make this list, because what Lan talks with Nynaeve in Wheel of Time season 1 finale.
I just did a video on this with Nathan Amanda Manethrin. This Nynaeve very early in the books, because she's she tries to be this overly puffed up, self-important medicine woman from a small town. She falls in love with Lan very quickly, and Lan keeps pushing her off. And there's a scene that happens later on with a ring and things like that, but we're not there yet. But instead, this show has to make her, like I just said, she's a 21st century girl. She don't need no man. She's a strong, independent woman. So she has sex with this show's Lan, which never happens in the books. I mean, like, you go, and it's unrequited love and longing, and it's a beautiful story of these two.
The whole reason, like, I remember getting so mad when this scene happened, because the whole point of it was he couldn't have her in his mind because of his
he's a warder, because he could die at any time, and he's bound
dedication
to Moiraine.
His fight against the shadow, all that. The whole point was that he knew that the right thing to do was to not be with her, even though he had feelings for her. So that's why this line carried weight, because it's like, you know what? I do have feelings for you, but I know I shouldn't and couldn't be with you. So you know what? I wish you the best, but sorry, you already passed that moment. You guys slept together.
Yeah, it's Lan's sacrifice. It's Lan being noble. It's a man being strong and taking charge and doing the right thing. Again, right. Why can't you have that? It's intersectional feminism.
We're gonna have a one night stand, and then I'm gonna brew me fast.
Well, and it gives Nynaeve all the power. Which again, that's all this show is how can we take stolen valor, stolen nobility, stolen moments and bravery from any male character and give them to our BIPOC female. That's what it is. It's that basic bitch in this show, you know.
I know you're gonna like this one because this was Fire Festival. I know you like this.
Was so.
Thank God.
So terrible.
Thank God we got the Tinkerer scene where Egwene is encouraged to try and forget about Rand, and she does pretty easily, and wants to hook up with Aram, but she doesn't quite do it because Perrin's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm just having fun. I know you're being.
I'm out whoring around. I'm out at the dance. I'm out at the club, hooking up with the guys.
We're totally safe. There's not Trollocs or White Cloaks or anything chasing us. We're perfectly fine here. Let's dance and maybe I'll do this guy. Rand's not around. I mean, different zip code, right? I mean, thank God that's in the show. Thank God.
Here's the thing with that scene in the books.
Good job. It's in the book.
That scene in the books, it amplifies the inexperience and innocence of Egwene. And her meeting a man from outside of the village that is intriguing and wild in this completely different life of being a traveler like this. And it's this amazing scene. And there's this internal conflict with her because I don't want to go down that road. It's just that there are the whole point of so many things in character arcs and character development, they're entirely absent from the show. And the trap here is to sit here and try and reconcile these wonderful characters Robert Jordan wrote with these flat, dull, lifeless, no story, no arc characters that the show does,
So Much of what transpired in the Wheel of Time episode 4 was tied to the Eye of the World, particularly in regards to
No,
Perrin's
they
storyline.
wandered around. They wandered around in fields in
Storyline.
Eastern Europe with Perrin breathing out of his mouth. That's
And
pretty much.
we're gonna try and put Elias in backdoor because you missed all of the Elias stuff. In addition to showing the two meeting the wandering people, the Tinkerers, who everybody hates. The show includes a scene where thank God we got the dance out of everything, and then we get to talk about. But let's talk about the part in the books where Perrin decides to try and take the way of the leaf. Oh wait, that doesn't happen. Perrin doesn't give two craps about the way of the leaf.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, but I mean, and this is Amanda Minesman's favorite thing to beat on. Where's his axe?
Oh yeah, where's his? Yeah,
where's again? We have to neuter and depower the male characters in this book to make girl power nonsensical changes. I mean, again, there's a scene where a fire's lit, and of course they focus on Egwene starting a fire because Moiraine trained her. It's so dumb. It's so dumb, and it's insulting to me. It's insulting to me as someone who does right, and I see this. And I'm like, I would never in a million years have ever submitted a script like this because it looks like a 14-year-old girl submitted this. And I still believe that's kind of what we're getting here, is that Rafe Judkins has the creative talent of a 14-year-old girl. And I do believe this, as terrible as it sounds. Amanda Schumann, you may be good at things like The Blacklist and Chuck and all these other things. You should have never been put on the show, and I'm sorry that you were. I'm sure you could write sitcoms really, really well. This is not the intellectual property for you to ever been attached to.
All you have to do is look at the picture. She's out front with the knife. He's there limply holding the knife.
Where's his axe? I mean,
that's the thing. It's like, yeah, where's his axe? And that's the thing. They don't even understand that if you're like, first, the whole Perrin struggling with the way of the leaf bullshit is just complete and utter nonsense. But you still don't understand that if you gave him his axe, you could have more of an effect with it, because now he's holding a weapon of slaughter, and he's thinking about, well, maybe the way of the leaf's the way to go. So it's like, it's all still stupid.
A whole lot of other reasons that were developed in the book as far as character because of his internal monologue. Perrin in the book is always a big guy who was told, you're really big, you can hurt people, move a little bit slower. I identified with this because I'm 6'5". I heard that same thing like all of my life in my childhood. I related to Perrin very, very, very much. Yeah. And instead, they give him a made-up wife that he kills, and then he just killed his non-existent wife, and then he goes on an adventure, and then he's moping about that, but then it's just I can't.
Thirsting for Egwene, and thirsting for Egwene and all that. It's like, the whole point. Oh God, it just. Yeah, thank God we got the dance party with the Tinkerers. Thank God. So number 2, Rand and Loial are in a room together. How about that?
And there's books in the room.
Arguably one of the most faithful scenes. Arguably one of the most faithful scenes from the show. Show's first season. Rand's first meeting with Loial in episode 5. In the book version of the story, Rand encountered the Ogier in the library in Camelin. See, in Camelin, we're not Camelin.
I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna explode with this one. In Camelin, in a bar, where there's an important guy who talks to Tom about what's going on in the city, and the Queen of Camelin, who has a daughter heir by the name of Elaine, who then Rand, in one of the most important, powerful scenes of this story, goes to climb a wall in Camelin, where the show never goes, okay? Because they're bringing in Padden Fane, okay? To see the Queen, okay? Which you never see. But all of this, they're staying in Camelin with all of this wonderful intrigue and story and character development where Tom is in control and in charge, leading the party. You know why that was taken out? Because, again, a male would have been competent and capable, and not Rosamund Pike in front of the screen the whole time. It's just, this is so terrible. This scene with Loial happened in that inn. It's so wonderfully done. so well written. You get the backstory of Loyal, why he's out on the road, that he's really young to have left a steading, that his mother wants him to marry somebody, but he doesn't want to do that. He wants to be on the road and see the world. And of course, we cannot make this show about any of the male character stories, and then they also steal Loyal's Ogier ability to find the hidden ways, which are not just arches stuck up somewhere that Moiraine can open, okay? But that Loyal is the only one as a fucking Ogier that can guide them through the ways. All right, I'm done. I did my little Steve
crazy
freak out thing. Sorry.
They took all of to say anything about Loyal being accurate is ridiculous because they took yeah.
Look at him. What the hell am I looking at? What the hell is even that? What the hell is even that?
He opened the doors. It's like I don't recall. Somebody might have to remind me. I don't remember Rand pulling a sword on him. I remember him being startled. And then all of a sudden they're just talking, and Loyal's finding him interesting, and then it's like, so I guess you could loosely say this was sort of in the show, but the way they did it was trash.
It's a character named Loyal and a character named Rand in a room with a bunch of books.
There it is.
And oh my God, look, Loyal's holding a book. Wow, what a great adaptation.
And when the scene's done, we still know nothing about Loyal other than he likes to read. We don't hear about
and apparently he's impervious to being stabbed by the cursed dagger from Shader Logoth too, because he's back in season 2.
Yeah, because we don't get any Stenning talk. We don't get any talk about how old he is. We get none of it. But they were in a room together, thank God, and Loyal had books. How you call this one of the most faithful scenes? I get if that is, which I guess maybe it's possible, but even though they're in the completely wrong city, but whatever. So this is number 1. Okay, this is number 1. I don't know if I teased you with it, but here you go. Logain sees Rand for the first time.
Oh, fuck this show. Yeah, I was wrong. I said Padden Fane is being brought into Camelin. It's actually a Logain.
Yeah, Logain. Yeah,
I was off on a rant.
So hold on, let me read this real quick, and then we'll talk about it because this is just bullshit. Like the fact that this is their number 1 too.
My brain is gonna.
Number one. The biggest thing is, it's in the wrong place. Okay, and that's number 1. And the events that kick off because of this event, you have completely erased. So just because, look, like you just said it. Logain is being brought to the queen. Okay, Rand and Matt sit on a wall. You guys all know this, and it kicks off the meeting with Elaine. There is something to be said that Rand completely altered Elaine's life by falling into that garden.
Yes, because he's a Ta'veren.
The Ta'verenness kicked in, maybe. I mean, you could have a debate whether everything that happens is Elaine because of that scene in the Rose Garden. Okay, everything that kicked off because he fell in, everything with Andor, that's how powerful a Ta'veren is. Just by being in the vicinity, she falls in love with him almost instantly, and she is obsessed with him from there. Like, as soon as she meets him in the tower, the first, Rand this, Rand that. Why that happened? That all happens because he fell in. Now, are you going to do any of that? Probably not. But
they won't. They won't for the same reason, because of intersectional feminism. Because this show cannot be about men. It has to be about women. And Rosamund Pike, because the Aes Sedai are powerful magicians and all this other horse shit. I mean. The problem with all of this is that scene also shows you the Queen of Andor, who is really important in future books because she is being manipulated by somebody. She's also concerned about Elaine being at the tower because of some stuff that's going on in the tower. There are these wonderful stories. There are these wonderful arcs in this book, which could still be all about women and female empowerment and strong women, but they would be human, believable, flawed characters who have to grow and overcome, which is essential when you tell a story and what makes stories entertaining. By removing all of that and doing what they've done, again, they cut all of this shit to make it more about Rosamund Pike on the screen.
Well, Matt wasn't with him, and that's important because later, so first of all, I'm going to read this in a second. Okay, let me read it first, and then we'll talk. Throughout season 1, the show used misdirects to guard the dragon. Worst decision ever, by the way.
It's mystery box bullshit. Okay, that even Brandon
Badly.
Sanderson said this is not an adaptation of the books.
One of these came from the form of Randall Thor and Tom suspicious being, yeah. Oh my god, just thinking about it. About Matt being able to channel. Wheel of Time episode 5 supported them by including a scene where Rand and Matt were watching the Aes Sedai parade Logain through the streets of Tar-Valon. Which that's just, that whole line is just,
it was lazy and stupid in the same set that this show used for Shader Logoth. Again, what it did was what Rafe Judkins wanted to do, which is take the focus of this story, which is about Rand, the Dragon Reborn, and put it on to Rosamund Pike. And again, Rand al'Thor, Matt Cawthon, Perrin Abiara, and go ahead and tell me I need to look at the pronunciation guide one more time.
Abara.
Say that. Gotcha. I mean, what it did is, again, it makes these characters just like, oh, we have to put that damn scene in there, and Rosamund Pike can't be in it. That's what this show is why isn't Rosamund Pike in the scene?
Well, it's like so they've messed up the scene just to get Matt to put for their Dragon Reborn mystery, because after you look at the direction, a stunned Logain bursts out laughing, and the show gives a false impression he's looking at Matt. But the context of the books reveals Rand was the real focus of his attention. In Jordan's novel, it was confirmed that Logain had secretly recognized Rand's destructive potential. Logain laughing served as early foreshadowing in the book's huge Dragon Reborn reveal. There was no.
I'm not even going to dignify this horse shit by getting mad.
There was no.
This is real quick. Why write articles like this? I mean, just so you can bullshit like this.
It's a bullshit article, isn't it? It's just all bullshit. None of it. Like all these points, it's like barely meet the mark that you can say that it was pulled straight from you. Barely, because
tell me you didn't.
He's not even in the right city. He's not doing the right thing. Rand is sitting on the garden wall. He starts laughing because he sees that he's Ta'Veren, and a fucking strong one, because that's something Logain can do. Because Rand is by himself. Then he falls into the garden. Then later in the books, when Matt needs to deliver a letter to Morghese, he goes, you know what? I remember Rand fell there's a way into the garden through the wall. So he uses the wall to, it's like, do you not understand all the things you fucked up by fucking up the scene? Matt's going to crawl through the window to do what? Fucking screw a girl in the end? Like, what? Like, you've messed up so much. This, like,
everything was there.
It's all messed up. It's all messed up.
Everything was there. Everything was there, and I could adapt that story in 10 episodes, because I've been working on that with a 2-hour premiere and a 2-hour finale. Okay. And I could have did it with probably the same amount of money that they did. Okay. And it would have been a pretty good adaptation. It wouldn't have had a lot of the stupidity of this, where you had forced diversity casting and then just destroying what the Aes Sedai were. I mean, again, I haven't talked about that since season 1, but the Aes Sedai have been completely destroyed because because it's ageist to show what the characters were actually written as in the book, which is all young and beautiful, except for the extraordinarily old Aes Sedai, which were very, very old. I mean, again, this is the people writing these articles never read these books. They couldn't even be bothered to go look at a chapter summary that's available online at like, you know, Wheel of Time wiki. Well, they're literally just saying this shit because they need to get an article out about Wheel of Time.
Yep.
This is only getting started. Once the trailer drops, people are going to come at us hard. They're going to come at all of us hard, just like they did with me. And it's going to be a bloodbath. Because again, Amazon has nothing. Amazon has nothing that people want to see in the fantasy genre. Nobody cares about Rings of Power. Nobody.
I just want to recap real quick. Okay, here are their 10 points. Rand, this scene destroyed, was terrible. Even if it was sort of in the books, it was garbage in the show.
They missed the whole point of it. They entirely missed critical Rand character development.
Even if it was sort of in the books, the way you did it, garbage scene was terrible. This one, who cares? I don't give a fuck. Wrong. This was completely done wrong, incorrect, not right. Totally fuck you. Sorry.
Tom was one of the biggest failures. It's one of the biggest failures, and they're not going to correct.
So bad. I actually hope he's dead, so they don't do it anymore. I think he probably is dead because the guy hasn't even The actor said he's definitely not in season 2, and he hopes to come back for season 3. They probably just killed him.
They're shooting season 3 now. He's
Rand
not
versus Ishmael. Fuck you. I'm not going to say anymore.
It was dumb.
Min's introduction.
Min,
fuck you. I'm not going to say anymore.
Congratulations, you've got your Portland, in methadone recovery for heroin addiction.
Moraine explains the history of the Aes Sedai. Complete miss. They could have done something really cool. They failed. They suck. It was terrible. Lance, shut the fuck up. Who cares? Retarded. I shouldn't say retarded. That's mean to like.
Whatever. Who cares? It's a word.
Well, I'm just saying. No. I'm being me. That's
morons.
That's not fair for the mentally handicapped. This is worse.
Okay, good.
So that's what I'm saying. So they fucked it up. They missed a whole complete point of this whole thing because they've already.
Well, they also missed Land's actual identity. Didn't they also miss Land's actual identity and who he really is? In the show too.
Did they?
Kinda, because he's a lot more important than this show made him.
Yeah, well, that's
who
true.
He really is. But that's another video, dude.
The dance of the Tinkerers. Who gives?
Oh, kiss my ass!
Thank God it was in there.
These people from Burning Man.
Everything around it is wrong. Every single thing around it is wrong. But yes, they did have a dance.
Cloaks. We missed the point with the white cloaks. The only arms like it's a Civil War demonstration from the 60s.
It's crazy.
The show is a joke. It's a joke.
It's like, yes, you know what? Oops, how did I do that? It's like, yes, they did have a dance, but everything surrounding it was 100% incorrect. So yeah, great. Egwene got to flirt with Aram, but everything surrounding it was wrong. Wow, good job. Rand meets Loyal. We got to see freaking Carrot Top.
Yet another absolute strikeout. Absolute strikeout.
Again, even if them meeting in a library in the wrong city by
every time I see that scene, what's love got to do? To do with it. It's
the only thing this is pointing out is like, okay, we're throwing this in. That's sort of in the book. Everything surrounding it incorrect and wrong, and then this one is like, Logain saw Rand. Wow. Like, but everything around it is incorrect. Like every single one of these is like, okay, that one significant moment might have happened, but everything around it and the actual event that you're talking about is done completely wrong. It is not from the books. None of it is from the books. Because it's rooms and places, names and places, and half the time they get the names right and they get the place wrong, or they get the place right and they get the names wrong. They can't even get that right when they're doing it.
Steve, they had all of these Post-it notes that said we got to get this in there. And they pull them off a wall and they're like, okay, what's the shortest amount of time that we can do this because we have to keep Rosamund Pike on the screen.
Well, that's why season 2 is going to be because she has no business being in there, and it's going to be a gigantic.
Amanda Schumann wrote A Taste of Solitude is the first episode of the second season. So I mean, again, this is going. There's no incentive for them to even pretend to do anything.
I 100% believe
at all
that they're going to dedicate at least 3 to 4.
I think every episode's going to have Rosamund Pike.
Oh, I think she's going to be in every episode, but I think there's going to be like at least 3 or 4 centered around her and her like trying to help her sister take over.
With her sister and her brother in the game of houses bullshit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
probably taking some of Tom's role that would have been in the Dragon Reborn, and it's just like it's so basic.
I really think
so basic.
She's gonna take all of Tom's role because Tom's dead, and she's gonna take it, and she's her brother or cousin or whoever the man is gonna be an evil ruler, and the whole plot is gonna be her.
Well, he will have ruined her family's fortunes and all this other stuff, and
playing Deus de Mar really badly to get Moraine's sister on the throne because it's
gonna be Falcon Crest in Carhian. It's like yay with Moiraine. I hope she wears like the big shoulder pads, 80s dresses like they did in the original Falcon.
I will be shocked if that's awesome. The only reason I'm not sure 100% about that because there's one photo with Rand actually with her and Lan in Carrion. So I don't know how that comes to be.
I haven't seen that one. You'll have to send that to me. I don't know where that is.
They're in the background, but they're there. So he's marching down a street and they're behind him. So I'm not sure if that's I don't know. We'll see. But all the Carrion stuff is going to be about her. It's all going to be better.
Steve, we're never gonna get Calendar, are we?
No,
we're never
no
gonna. We're never gonna get Calendar. We haven't even talked about the Dairy Queen servers that they got to be the IEL.
No,
I
we're
just
not,
I can't.
look,
Season
no,
2 is
like,
gonna make my head explode.
I'm gonna make a list here soon, so stay tuned for that here soon. But we're not gonna have Calendar. I doubt we're gonna get the Sky Fight. I don't even know that we're gonna blow the Horn of Valir.
If it is, it's gonna be a
We're
Gween.
not gonna get the Stona
Or
tier.
90.
That's for sure. There's not gonna be a Stona tier, and it's one of those. It's because book 1 and 2 are the same, right?
Yeah, and book 2 and 3 are the same plot, according to Rafe Judkins.
The same thing.
So you can just cut and paste all these events out. So I mean,
Calendar is not important. Calendar is not important at all. So
I can't wait for Egwene to be given Calendar, who's actually this show Suan Sanche has kept under her throne at the White Tower. Watch that. Yeah. Watch that be the bullshit we get.
I forgot somebody said it. I forgot somebody said it in one of the chat, one of the unhyped live streams. They're like, just watch. Calendar is going to be buried under somebody's throne. It's like
it's going to be. It'll be in Suan and Sanche and Rosamund Pike's lesbian fishing love shack. It'll be under the bed. Watch.
How much you bet she? Okay, here we're gonna before we leave. How much do you bet that Moraine is going to have a portable transporter so she can transport to have love-ins with Suan anytime she can? Oh, yeah. Since traveling isn't who cares about traveling?
She'll use a portal stone to go to her love shack with her.
Oh god.
BIPOC. Not Suan Sanche lesbian
lover.
Oh boy,
man. Well, dude, thank you. I mean, so I don't know, man. This could still be a good one to go over on the live stream because
I think we should. I think we should go over this. I really do. I think we should go over this, and you should put polls out.
Yeah, this is unhyped material. So we're gonna have to put that on the next. We'll have to maybe talk about that on the next unhype real time stream. Hopefully next week. But holy shit, bro! Like,
it's hard not to. We've been working together for 2 years. We met because of the show, and you came at this really hoping it was going to turn around. A lot of people did, and then and unfortunately, what we got, it defied any. It stopped pretending to be an adaptation in episode 3. There's no incentive for this to pretend to be an adaptation of The Great Hunt or The Dragon Reborn. I mean, there's none, and we've gotten so many little clips. I know the White Cloaks have said this too, but the only images we've got seem to be from 2 episodes of season 2, which would seem to be the cumulative battle, if they're even going to be in Falme, in other things. But they're missing all of the other events that I don't know if they're even going to try and cover. Yep. But I have said this before, and I'm going to say this again. Whatever those other episodes are so terrible. It absolutely so not even pretending to be what Robert Jordan wrote, that the best they can do is probably that finale episode, and they're only showing us what really appears to be probably about 4 or 5 minutes of actual screen time.
Man, when a trailer comes out, it's going to be interesting. I'll tell you that. But I mean, before we take off, I think the thing that I want to highlight is that is the best they could do. That's
sizzle reel. That's sizzle reel.
Well, that too, but I'm talking about the sizzle reel was like, but I'm talking about even just the list we went over. That is the best they can do to try and match up this piece of crap show to the books. That is the list they came up with of stuff they took. That is horrible. Like if you're trying to match up the show, say, oh, it was faithful, and that's the list you come up with.
Yeah, it's like the same people who try and say communism hasn't been done right. Communism's has been done right every time. It's a failed strategy. And here's the thing, and again, I've said this before. Remove the books from this. Let's pretend you've never even read any of Robert Jordan's books, okay? If you just try and watch this show, and there are people in my comments section, and you get them too, that say this is just boring and dumb. I mean, who cares about any of this? And they tune out. And again, I'm going to say this. We know what the non-completion rate was for The Rings of Power. It was horrible. Less than 37% of people bothered to watch all 8 episodes of what Amazon did with Rings of Power. Well, if anything, a completion rate is under 50%, that's normally grounds to cancel the entire series. Wheel of Time, we've never seen the actual completion rate. Oh yeah, and I've got the updated IMDb stuff, and I think this is overinflated. This is true. Okay,
I
if you
just
look
want to
at
bring
all
it up because
critics, look at this. Nobody wanted this. Nobody liked this, and guess what? We're getting 2 more seasons of this.
I just want to bring it up as we're finishing up because the audience score plummeted. That is not where it was. Sorry. That's better, nice and big. This is not where this audience score is not. It was. I remember they kept having it was up around 72, and every time it ticked down, it would all of a sudden tick up. So now that there hasn't been that much, it hasn't been on the thoughts of everybody. Look at that, the score has gone down. It's probably still way too high. And then top clicks here.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, look. I mean,
I have all of those.
This is not the one they show. Of course, they show this one.
Yep.
But this is just fine. 81.
That's called the shills. That's called fortifying a score. It's the same thing that, in my opinion, Amazon undeniably did while this show was out. Having it at 4.5 stars on their own rating system. As soon as the show was over, and I've got screen caps of it, it fell down to 2.4 stars. It stayed at 2.5 stars until a couple of weeks ago, where it magically inflated back up to 4.5 stars for the series. I believe that Amazon is terrified no one's going to watch this damn show. And you know what? They should be, because no one is. The only people that are going to watch this show are people like me and Steve to make videos about it, and to try and compare it to what they've done in the books. And my motivation continues to be, because I think I was as successful as anybody can be, is to drive people to the books.
Yep.
Please go read these books.
Read the books.
And then, it's a great story. It's a great escape. And we're in a world that they don't want us to escape. They don't want us to have entertainment. They want us to constantly be overwhelmed by the bullshit things they're doing right now.
Don't reward them with the old books. Go to eBay, go to used bookstores, go to wherever.
Yep. Thriftbooks.com. I don't get paid for that, but that's where I buy all of my hardcovers.
Get all the old covers. I know Noporio just got some book porn. He's got some of the new covers. They look beautiful.
Yeah.
I know. Look. The covers are the covers. I know some of them aren't the greatest, but guess what?
I just got this. I'm sending this to Purple Valkyrie, who has never read this series.
So sweet, nice.
Yeah.
So get the book, get the original covers, and if you get the audiobook, make sure you get the Michael Kramer. Nice. There you go.
Look at this. Thrift books.
I actually have 3 hardcovers of Eye of the World right now. So if anybody needs one, hit me up. Just let me know.
Dude, I need a good hardcover because mine are old paperbacks.
Yeah.
Look at this. Hardcover mint, baby.
Nice. So yeah, I have an older. I just was able to get my hands on. I have one of my own copies of Eye of the World, and then I have 2 more hardcover ones. So if anybody,
it doesn't have to look like this, but don't get the cover that Amazon did.
Don't get anything with that little Amazon logo. Don't reward them. Make sure you get the Michael Kramer Kate reading audiobook, because it's far superior. I did a video on that, but
in our opinion.
But I guess
we're assholes. Everybody knows that we're toxic, divisive book fans. We're no better than the people who are misogynists who hated Star Wars, and the people who are divisive book fans who don't like what they did with The Witcher or Star Trek.
Michael Kramer and Kate Redding are highly in demand for a reason. They're phenomenal at it. The only one, there's a guy that reads the Dresden Files. It's James Marsden, is it? I think. Yeah. He's fucking phenomenal too. But these people that read these audiobooks, they're very good at it, most of them. So they don't need to be redone. So reward them for their hard work.
Yeah, but if they have a penis, of course it has to be redone.
I mean, she doesn't. They're married. But all right.
I know. I was talking about Rosamund Pike. Way to let me fail at a joke, you dick. I come on your stream and give you free content. I'm kidding. This is how we talk to each other when we're not online, by the way. We break each other's balls.
So thanks, man. I know
this was a good article,
but after I recorded nothing. But so
I'm glad we covered this, Steve. Thank you.
I think, I still think it'd be fun looking over it with a.
I want to do a live stream on this. I want to hear from Aldan and Daniel and Nerdtorial and everybody and everybody in chat. I want to hear what people in chat.
White Cloaks, Lady B, everybody has been awesome in our live streams, and we're gonna keep doing more of them because it's just been too much fun. So that was 10 scenes taken right from the books to the show. What a dumpster fire. I can't believe that's the best they did. And yeah, so if you've made it this far, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Go over to Salty Traveling Seas channel. He's doing a bunch of Wheel of Time stuff too. We're gonna keep pumping them out and trying to spread that knowledge that this is crap. Read the books. Get the
Yeah.
audio. It's because
Yeah.
this is not even close, and it's disrespectful at this point to the source
Yeah.
material. So yeah. So anything real quick before we go?
No, thanks for having me on. Sorry about your mic issues. I'm glad we talked about this. You know, we're not just howling into the darkness again. And I've said this, the work that I've done, you've done, the White Cloaks, Nathan, Amanda Manethrin, others. We've gotten a handful of people to these books. And again, if that's one thing that I am most proud of, it's that the people are picking it up. And of all races, genders, there are people in other cultures who are, you know, from Mexico or India or in Asia that are picking these books up, and they're commenting and saying, "This shit, what the hell are they doing? Why didn't they cover this?" So it's not just me because the color of my skin and because of my gender and because of my age. It's not being a divisive book fan. It's just wanting a good story. That's all it is.
Once your eyes are open to what you could have had, and then you see what we got, it makes it real hard. So, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, until next time, all hail the Lord Dragon, and keep fighting the good fight, guys. Have a good one.
Take it easy.